choreographical wonder. I am the Wiz. Alright everybody, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, please leave a like at the end. And if you want to watch more of my reviews, subscribe. I do 3 episodes a week on this channel. And I know 99% of you who come to this channel are not subscribed. So subscribe for more if you are interested. Alright everybody, I am continuing to watch the filmography of Jacques Tati, and I am reviewing the film that is considered his masterpiece, Playtime. Watching Playtime, there were 2 things that kept popping in my head. The first is, how in the hell did Tati pull this off? Let's start with the set design. Tati constructed the entire play space for the film, and the results on screen are gorgeous. Like the buildings in Mon Oncle, they are constructed to be angular, modern, and sterile. But unlike Mon Oncle, a lot of the scenes are shot at a distance to encompass as much of the set as possible. This leads to shots that seem almost impossible to actually construct. The distance from the camera and the film subjects also help create the alienation that the character Hulot feels as the film moves forward. A good amount of the first half of the movie is shot outside looking in, which gives Tati plenty of space to create sight gags on top of sight gags due to the architecture constructed. I'm going to note here, there are a bunch of gags I probably missed, because there is so much happening throughout the film in that type of distance with all that space that there are bound to be things that I have missed. So keep that in mind as I move forward. What may be the most impressive element of the film is the choreography. There are scenes in the film that deal with many people running in different directions while sight gags are popping up in either the foreground or background. The result is absolutely incredible to watch in regards to the timing of all the stunts. This is especially impressive with the second half set in the nightclub. With all the actors in both the foreground and background bunched up into a smaller set, it's actually incredible to watch everything set off so well as the film moves forward. The soundscape of the film is also incredible. The sounds of people chattering, people walking, and other sounds are created incredibly well to help enhance this cold, sterile mood the film inhabits throughout. Technically, Playtime is an absolute marvel. But this comes to the second thing that kept popping in my head. Comedically, I vastly prefer Mon Oncle. Playtime's distance from the subject in the first half, as well as how little Hulot is actually in the film, left me more alienated and detached than Hulot did. Now, I get the point of the film for the first half was to be alienating and somewhat exhausting, but part of Mon Oncle's charm was to the attachment to Hulot and his environment, which Playtime clearly doesn't want you to have. I'm going to note here, I think this is the key reason why I did not like Playtime as much as I feel like other people love this film, and it's that what made Mon Oncle so charming and so funny at certain points is the reaction that Hulot had to the environment around him. Mon Oncle, while portraying the modern style and everything as a detached and cold, still had that warm feeling because of how Hulot reacted to everything in his environment. Because Hulot's not in the film all that much, I honestly feel like he's not even in half the film at times. You're only left just watching the scenes go by. It's impressive to watch the first half and see how everything moves, but I didn't find a lot of it all that funny. I didn't really find it all that humorous. I just was looking at it and go, this sure looks pretty, but I'm not enjoying myself as much. I'll move forward. But comedically, the second half of the film is much better. Set in a smaller space where you can see everything going on in a lower level, the nightclub sequences are what gave me the most laughs and more heart from the film. I'll note here again, I mentioned that you can see everything at a lower level in the second half, as best as you can, I should say, because there is a lot going on in both the foreground and background when it comes to sight gags and things that are happening. That is funny, but there's definitely some things I've missed, so moving forward. Honestly, it's not hard to watch Playtime and be amazed by the technical achievement that Tati created. Cityscapes, the choreography, and shots that he created with the set are a wonder, and it's easy to see why this film is celebrated so much. And honestly, a lot of my rating today is going to be reflected on my feelings of the technical achievements of this film. But comedically, it didn't hit as hard as Mon Oncle or Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. Though I felt the film was funnier at the second half, the first half felt boring and cold. It may have been the point to make me feel that way, and bravo if it was, but I definitely felt a boredom that subsided as the second half started. It's honestly a film that should be seen regardless of my opinions, just to watch the wonder of how the film was constructed. And eventually, it will be a film that I will give a second chance to, just to watch the majesty of its set design. Alright, so before I get to my rating, let's see what other people think about this film. Letterboxd users has it at a 4.2 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a score of 98%. And this wasn't nominated for any Oscars. That's surprising. Not even for like set design or like sound design or something like that. That's crazy. Now, I'm going to give Playtime a 3 stars out of 5. Now, like I said at the end of my review, a lot of this rating is going to be more about the technical achievements that Tati did with this film. But I've got to be honest, for the first half of the film, it was boring. I really didn't laugh all that much. And I was watching it going, wow, this is really technically impressive. But I am just not feeling this film at all. And I kind of missed the charm of Monocle or Monster Who Loves Holiday, where the comedy was much more charming, much more in frame. But that's what kind of happened in the second half, where all the comedy was really pouring out in the nightclub scene. I really like the nightclub scene in this film. I thought it was really the best part of this film, comedically at least. But like I said, I still think that even though I just gave it a 3 out of 5, I think a lot of people who are interested in this movie should see it just to see how amazing the set design was and how it was created. I am immediately impressed with what he did with this, even though I felt comedically it didn't hit as hard as his other 2 films. So, 3 stars out of 5 for Playtime. It is on the Criterion channel if you are interested in seeing this. I thought this was on Max, but apparently it's not. But it's on Criterion channel if you are interested in watching. Alright guys, let me know what you think of my review. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like it. If you didn't, please subscribe. And if you have questions or comments, go ahead and leave a comment whether you liked it or not. It just helps, you know. If you want my written reviews, you can go onto my Letterboxd at IamThatWiz, or you can go to my website at IamTheWiz.com. Thank you very much again for watching. See you next time.